She thought her life was over after one humiliating night, but a stranger in a taxi changed everything. Who is he? And how did a broken heart turn into the most unexpected love story of her life? Watch till the end to discover a tale of heartbreak, kindness, and a love so pure it could heal even the deepest pain. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. The music inside the party felt loud and bright. Lights shimmered across the room. People laughed. Glasses clinked together. I stood beside my boyfriend, smiling, trying to belong among his friends and family. At first the jokes felt light. Then the laughter changed. One friend looked at my dress and laughed. Another whispered something that made the whole group burst into louder laughter. My cheeks grew warm. I tried to smile. I answered one joke with a small reply, hoping the moment would pass. Instead, my boyfriend's face hardened. His voice cut through the music. Sharp, cold, loud. Leave. The word echoed in my ears. People turned. His friends stared. My heart trembled inside my chest. Leave this place and never show your face to me again. The room felt smaller. The lights burned brighter. My hand shook as I walked toward the door. Outside, the night air felt heavy and silent. Streetlights glowed across the empty road. I stood on the sidewalk waiting for a taxi. Tears slipped down my face. A car stopped beside me. The door opened. The driver turned slightly. A young man with calm eyes and a gentle voice. Please sit. You look hurt. May I help you? His voice carried patience, warmth, kindness that felt rare in that painful moment. Inside the taxi, the city lights passed across the window. My tears continued to fall. He spoke again, softly. You can trust me. Please tell me what happened. Your heart looks very heavy. Something inside me broke open. Words poured out between quiet sobs. The laughter, the humiliation, the cruel voice that once called me love. The taxi driver listened. Silence filled with understanding. His eyes held respect, compassion. That night became the beginning of many small conversations. Short rides, warm smiles, simple moments filled with sincerity. Days passed, then weeks. Every meeting revealed something rare. A man who worked hard. A man who spoke gently. A man whose heart carried quiet strength. Slowly my wounded heart discovered warmth again. And the taxi rides across glowing city streets slowly turned into something deeper, something steady. Something full of kindness and quiet devotion. A love that felt honest, patient, and strong enough to guide two hearts forward through the long road of life where laughter slowly replaced old tears and every sunrise beside him felt like the beginning of a beautiful new chapter still unfolding across the horizon of our shared journey. Morning sunlight began to enter my small apartment window. Warm, soft, quiet. The city outside slowly awakened. Cars moved along the streets. People hurried to work. Life continued, yet inside my heart something new started growing. His name was Armin, a taxi driver with gentle eyes and a calm voice. Every time I entered his taxi, the world felt lighter. He always greeted me with the same warm smile. Good morning. Today looks brighter already. Those simple words carried sincerity, something rare, something healing. One evening the sky glowed orange and pink above the city. I sat in the back seat while the taxi moved slowly through the busy streets. Streetlights flickered on. Music played softly from the radio. He glanced at me through the mirror. Concern appeared in his eyes. You look tired today. I gave a small smile. Long day. He parked near a quiet park beside the river. Tall trees swayed gently in the evening breeze. The air smelled fresh. He stepped out of the car and opened the door for me. Come. Fresh air helps a tired heart. We walked along the river path. The water shimmered under the fading sunlight. Birds circled above the quiet sky. For a moment the world felt peaceful, safe. He listened while I spoke about my past. The party, the humiliation, the pain that once filled my nights. Armin remained silent for a moment. Then he spoke slowly. Some people break hearts because they never learn how to protect one. His words felt wise. Gentle, powerful. He looked toward the river, then back at me. There are people in this world who carry kindness like a quiet light. They see pain. They understand it. They share the weight without asking anything in return. The wind moved softly through the trees. My heart felt calm beside him. Days continued to pass. Our meetings became longer, conversations deeper. I watched him work long hours every day, driving through traffic, helping passengers, always patient, always respectful. Sometimes he brought warm coffee when he picked me up. Sometimes we shared simple street food under glowing city lights. Those small moments slowly filled my life with joy again. One evening, rain began to fall across the city. Soft drops touched the windshield while the taxi moved slowly through the glowing streets. Inside, the car felt warm, peaceful. Armin spoke quietly. I believe life sometimes places two strangers on the same road for a reason. His words lingered in the air. My heart beat faster. The rain grew heavier outside. The city lights blurred across the glass. He stopped the taxi near my building. Silence surrounded us. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then he looked at me with a gentle expression that carried warmth, respect, and a quiet feeling growing deeper with every passing day. The rain tapped softly on the roof of the taxi. City lights shimmered across the wet road. Inside the car, the air felt calm, warm. Armin looked at me with quiet sincerity. His eyes carried something gentle, something careful. I respect your heart, he said softly. No one deserves to feel small in front of others. His words wrapped around my wounded memories like a warm blanket. For the first time in many months, I felt seen, truly seen. Days turned into weeks. Weeks slowly turned into months. Our lives continued moving forward through the busy rhythm of the city. Every morning, Armin started his taxi before sunrise. He worked long hours with patience and dignity. Sometimes I watched him from the cafe window where I worked. His taxi stopping, passengers entering, passengers leaving with smiles. Every action revealed his character. Hardworking, honest, strong in a quiet way. One evening, the sky glowed with golden light. The city felt peaceful after a long day. Armin parked near the river again. The same river where we once walked during that soft sunset. Trees swayed gently. The water reflected the fading light. We walked slowly along the path, our steps quiet against the pavement. He spoke about his dreams. A small home one day. A place filled with warmth. A place where kindness lived in every corner. His voice carried hope. His eyes carried determination. I listened carefully. My heart felt something deep growing inside. Respect, trust, and a love that slowly unfolded like a flower opening under morning sunlight. The wind moved gently around us. For a moment, neither of us spoke. Then Armin reached into his pocket and pulled out a small folded paper. He handed it to me with a shy smile. Inside was a simple drawing. A tiny house beside a tree. A car parked near the door. Two small figures standing together. I looked at him with surprise. He laughed softly. A dream, he said. Simple life. Honest work. Shared happiness. The drawing trembled slightly in my hands. Tears gathered in my eyes again. Yet these tears felt different. They carried warmth instead of pain. Armin noticed. His voice softened even more. Your heart carries great strength. Pain never erased your kindness. That strength deserves a home filled with peace. The evening sky slowly darkened. Stars began appearing above the quiet river. The moment felt beautiful, full of possibility. And as we continued walking beneath the soft glow of the streetlights, our conversation deepened even further, revealing stories, dreams, and gentle hopes that slowly connected our lives in ways neither of us expected. While the night around us quietly held the beginning of something stronger growing between two hearts that once traveled separate roads but now walk side by side toward a future still unfolding with warmth, patience, shared laughter, and a growing bond that continued to guide our steps forward through the peaceful city night. The quiet city night wrapped around us like a soft blanket. Streetlights glowed gently along the river path. Our footsteps moved slowly together, calm, unhurried. The folded drawing still rested in my hands. A small house, a tree beside it, two tiny figures standing close to each other. Such a simple dream, yet it felt more precious than anything I had ever imagined before. Armin walked beside me with quiet patience. He never rushed my thoughts, never demanded answers. His kindness moved like a steady river, constant, reliable. A cool breeze drifted across the water. I looked toward the dark surface of the river where the lights reflected like golden stars. Your dream feels peaceful, I said softly. Armin smiled. A warm, humble smile. Peace grows where respect lives. Those words settled gently inside my heart. For a moment we stood near the railing watching the calm water. Cars passed quietly on the distant road. Somewhere a lake cafe played soft music. Life continued around us. Yet that moment felt suspended in time. Then my phone vibrated suddenly in my bag. The sound felt sharp against the peaceful night. I looked down at the screen. A familiar name appeared. My former boyfriend. The same person whose voice once shattered my confidence in front of everyone. My chest tightened. Old memories stirred like shadows. Armin noticed the change in my expression. Concern appeared in his eyes. You feel uneasy. I slowly showed him the phone screen. He remained calm. His voice stayed steady. You choose who deserves your time. Such simple wisdom. Such quiet strength. The phone continued to vibrate. The name glowing again and again. For a moment the past tried to pull me backward. The humiliation. The cruel laughter. The sharp command that forced me to leave that crowded party. But something inside me had changed since that night. I looked at Armin. A man who listened. A man who respected every word I spoke. A man whose life carried honesty and effort. The phone stopped vibrating. Silence returned. Armin gently leaned against the railing beside me. His gaze moved toward the river again. You deserve peace, he said softly. The breeze moved through the trees again. My heart felt stronger than before. Yet somewhere deep inside I knew the past still carried unfinished echoes. And as the night grew deeper around the quiet river path, another unexpected moment slowly approached. One that would soon test my courage, my choices, and the growing bond between Armin and me while the city lights continued shimmering across the dark water, and the future quietly waited just beyond the next unfolding step of our journey together. The river moved quietly beneath the bridge. City lights danced across the dark water. I held the phone in my hand, silent now, heavy with memories. Armin stood beside me with calm patience. He never asked questions that forced answers. That quiet respect felt powerful. I took a slow breath. Cool night air filled my lungs. Then I placed the phone back into my bag. The past slowly loosened its grip on my heart. Armin noticed the small change in my expression. A gentle smile appeared on his face. Some doors belong closed, he said softly. His words felt simple, yet deeply wise. We began walking again along the river path. The pavement glowed beneath the streetlights. Leaves rustled in the trees above us. Far away a train horn echoed across the sleeping city. Moments like these felt peaceful, real, the kind of moments that build trust without loud promises. As we walked, Armin spoke about his childhood. A small town, long dusty roads, early mornings helping his father repair old cars. His voice carried warmth when he spoke about those days. Hard work teaches patience, he said, and patience protects the heart. I listened carefully. Each story revealed more about the quiet strength inside him. Every struggle shaped his character. Every sacrifice built his determination. Soon we reached the taxi again. Rainwater still shimmered on the windshield from earlier. The city lights reflected across the glass like tiny stars. Armin opened the door for me with the same gentle courtesy. Inside the taxi the air felt warm, comfortable. He started the engine slowly. Soft music filled the quiet space. The taxi rolled forward through the calm streets. We passed small restaurants closing for the night, couples walking under umbrellas, street vendors packing their carts, life moving in its endless rhythm. Then suddenly bright lights appeared ahead. A large building filled with music and laughter. My heart skipped. The same place. The same party hall where my past once shattered in front of everyone. Cars lined the entrance. Guests continued arriving. My breath slowed. Armin glanced toward the building, then toward me. Concern softened his voice. This place holds memories for you. I nodded quietly. For a moment neither of us spoke. The taxi slowed at the traffic light beside the entrance. Through the large glass doors I saw familiar faces inside. People laughing, talking. The same world that once pushed me away. The light turned green. Armin kept his hand steady on the wheel. Yet something inside me stirred. a quiet courage rising slowly in my chest. And as the taxi continued moving past the bright entrance, I felt a powerful urge growing inside me, an urge to face the place that once held my deepest humiliation. While the city night continued unfolding around us and the road ahead slowly carried us toward another moment that would soon reveal how much my heart had changed since the night everything first fell apart. The taxi moved slowly beyond the bright entrance. Music spilled onto the street. Laughter floated through the night air. For a brief moment the past stood right beside me again. That same building. Those same shining windows. The same place where my heart once cracked under cruel laughter. My fingers tightened gently around the edge of the seat. Armin noticed the small movement. His voice remained calm. "You feel something unfinished." The words touched the truth inside me. The taxi continued forward. Streetlights passed one by one across the windshield. Yet my eyes remained on the building behind us. A quiet courage began to grow in my chest, stronger with every passing second. "Armin," I said softly. He glanced at me through the mirror. "Yes. Please stop the car." The taxi slowed, then gently pulled to the side of the road. The party hall remained visible behind us. Bright, noisy, alive with the same careless energy I remembered. Armin turned slightly in his seat, concern mixed with respect in his expression. "You wish to return there?" His voice carried no judgment, only patience. I nodded slowly. "I need to stand there again. Not as the broken girl who walked away that night." The wind moved softly outside the car. Music continued echoing from the building. Armin studied my face carefully. Then a quiet smile appeared. "Strength often grows exactly where pain once lived." His words filled me with calm determination. We stepped out of the taxi together. Cool night air brushed against my skin. The sound of laughter grew louder as we walked toward the entrance. Cars arrived one after another. Guests stepped onto the bright carpet leading inside. Each step toward the door awakened memories. The moment I left, the whispers behind me, the burning humiliation in my chest. Yet something felt different tonight. My steps felt steady. My heart felt stronger. Armin walked quietly beside me, not leading, not pushing, simply present. A silent support. We reached the glass doors. Warm light spilled onto the sidewalk. Inside the hall I saw familiar faces again. Some of them turned slowly toward the entrance. Recognition began spreading across their expressions. A ripple of surprise moved through the crowd. My heartbeat grew louder in my ears. For a moment time felt suspended between past and present. Then the doors slowly opened again as more guests entered, and the bright hall filled with music, laughter, curious glances, and the sudden realization that my return carried a quiet confidence none of them had seen before. While Armin remained beside me with calm strength and the night continued unfolding toward another moment that promised to reveal even more about the courage growing inside my heart. Warm light poured from the open doors. Music vibrated through the polished floor. The air inside the hall smelled of perfume, food, and sparkling drinks. For a moment the laughter softened as several faces turned toward me. Whispers began moving through the room like a slow breeze. I stepped forward, calm, steady. The same place once filled with humiliation now stood in front of me again. Yet my heart felt different, stronger. Armin remained beside me, quiet and composed. His presence felt like a steady anchor. Some of the guests recognized me immediately. Their eyes widened. A few exchanged uncertain glances. One of the friends who once laughed at me lowered his gaze toward the floor. The music continued playing, yet the energy in the room shifted. I walked slowly through the hall. Every step carried dignity. Every breath filled my chest with calm courage. Then I saw him. My former boyfriend stood near a group of guests holding a glass in his hand. The same confident posture. The same loud laughter. Yet when his eyes met mine, the laughter faded. Shock replaced it. The glass in his hand paused halfway to his lips. The people around him slowly turned to see what had captured his attention. Silence spread across the small group. I stopped a few steps away. The distance between us held many memories. Pain, embarrassment, long nights filled with quiet tears. He stared at me as if seeing a stranger. Perhaps he expected the same fragile girl who once walked away with trembling hands. But that girl had changed. Armin stood quietly at my side. Respectful, calm, a quiet strength that needed no loud words. My former boyfriend finally spoke. His voice carried surprise. "You came back." The words hung in the air. I looked around the hall, at the people who once laughed, at the lights shining above the crowded room. Then I met his eyes again. My life moved forward. My voice felt steady, peaceful. Guests listened quietly. Some faces showed curiosity. Others showed discomfort. My former boyfriend tried to smile, an uneasy smile. "You look different." The observation felt true in many ways. I felt different, stronger, wiser. Behind me the entrance doors opened again as more guests arrived. Cold night air briefly touched the warm hall. Armin remained silent beside me, yet his calm presence spoke louder than any words. The crowd slowly gathered closer, sensing something important unfolding between past mistakes and present strength. While the music continued playing softly in the background, and the evening carried the quiet promise that this unexpected reunion would soon reveal even deeper truths about respect, dignity, forgiveness, and the powerful journey my heart had traveled since the night everything first changed. The hall remained quiet for a moment. Music still played softly in the background, yet every conversation had slowed. Every eye watched the small circle where my past and present stood face to face. My former boyfriend studied me carefully, confusion mixed with regret in his expression. "You look happy," he said quietly. For a moment I simply breathed. The heavy memories that once filled this place felt lighter now. I glanced toward Armin. He stood beside me with the same calm strength that had guided me through my darkest days. His eyes held kindness, respect, a silent encouragement that reminded me how far my heart had traveled. "Yes," I answered gently. "I am happy." The words felt simple, yet they carried the truth of many long nights, painful lessons, and quiet healing. My former boyfriend looked down for a moment. The laughter that once surrounded him had faded. Many guests now watched with thoughtful expressions. Some seemed embarrassed by memories of that earlier night. I spoke again, my voice calm and steady. That night hurt deeply. The laughter, the words, the humiliation. It felt like the end of my world. Silence filled the room. But sometimes life surprises us in beautiful ways. I turned slightly toward Armin. This man saw my tears when I believed no one cared. He listened without judgment. He respected my pain. He showed me that kindness and hard work build a love far stronger than pride or mockery. Armin lowered his gaze modestly. A soft smile touched his face. The room felt warmer somehow. My former boyfriend slowly nodded. Regret softened his expression. "I understand now," he said quietly. "Some lessons arrive late. Yet understanding still carries value." I looked around the hall one last time, at the lights, at the faces, at the place where my pain once began. Then I spoke the truth that had grown inside my heart. Life always returns the energy we give to others. Respect grows into love. Kindness heals broken hearts. Cruelty leaves only emptiness behind. Many people listened silently. Some nodded slowly. Armin gently offered his hand. I placed my hand in his. Warm, steady, full of quiet promise. Together we walked toward the open doors. Cool night air welcomed us again. Outside, the city lights shimmered like 1,000 small stars guiding the road ahead. And as we stepped into the peaceful night, I understood a simple truth meant for every heart that hears this story. The world always feels brighter when we choose kindness, respect the dignity of others, and open our hearts to the people who lift us up rather than those who try to make us feel small.